So, as we know, recently the Harris Walz campaign has really been picking up steam. It seems like there's been a lot of support and just build up behind her. There's even been some polls that are putting her like neck and neck with Trump. Um, and even in my area where there's been like absolutely no Biden support, there's I've seen somebody that had a Kamala hat, and it's just like I don't quite understand it. And the reason I don't understand it is because I don't understand how somebody who was the lowest rated VP in modern history is now somehow top of the line for the Democrats for the presidential nominee, and everybody is just rallying behind her. So I thought, well, rather than try to talk crap or say Democrats are stupid or the whole Democratic Party is dumb and people that are Democrats are clearly just blind sheep who just go with whatever the Democrats tell them to go with, I figured I'd do a little analysis myself. I would actually look into the situation, try to get some information that maybe I was previously missing, and come up with some new conclusions. Which, upon doing this, I actually learned quite a bit. And I see why she is massively becoming strongly supported. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the very first thing I thought of was how the Democrats obviously love democracy. I mean, that is their whole entire shtick, this whole Biden presidency. Trump can't win because we need to preserve and protect democracy. Um, and apparently, if Trump wins, then that means democracy's over. We're going to have I don't know, he's going to become a king or something. And so, yeah, with Harris now being the front runner, it's just like that was a very democratic process. So I understand why everybody is highly supportive of her. You know, when her party overthrew Biden and basically had a coup against him and told him, no, you're not going to run for re-election. And then they just installed her without having any primaries or anything for her to actually win the nomination and win the top spot. That's a very democratic thing. I mean, also there's the aspect of why waste your time voting for just a primary? You know, just let them choose somebody, pop her in, and now you can save your vote for something more important, like maybe voting in November. So super democratic. So right there out the gate, I understand why everybody's supporting her now. That is huge democracy right there. But I didn't want to just stop there. I was like, one point isn't enough to solidify a strong argument. So then I started to look at her career, and I'm like, okay, obviously she's the current VP, which, she didn't get that position because she can check a lot of boxes and be very versatile and plug and play where needed. She obviously got it because she's highly qualified. And what are these qualifications? Well, her qualifications are that she was the DA of San Francisco. And how did she get that position? From sleeping with the mayor of San Francisco at that time. Like, goals, right? You know, you gotta take what you want. You gotta hustle. That's a good hustle right there. She hustled. She saw her end goal and found a way to make it happen. At the end of the day, you gotta put yourself first. So, if you gotta sleep to the top to do it, then that's the way you do it. Also, then I looked at how she was as DA, and instead of doing the job of making sure she prosecuted criminals to keep them off the streets so that way then law-abiding citizens could live in safety and security, she let so many of them just walk free, and mostly for her own political gain. And again, it's because you got to put yourself at number one, which is exactly what she was doing. You know, she didn't want to live in the here and now and be a great DA. Who wants to do that? She's looking to the future. She knows there's bigger and greater out there that she could attain. So yeah, hey, I gotta let some criminals go so that then I can have some political favor with the Democrats? Sure. And the next thing you knew, she's a senator. So yeah, totally great background. She was fantastic at her job. She earned her positions that she had fair and square. Even the VP role, which obviously she was great at that too. Not only, obviously choosing somebody that checks off boxes is a fantastic idea, because that's why she's the lowest rated VP, because she was so good at her job. People don't want to congratulate people when they're doing well. You're doing good, and everyone's always got to talk crap. So lowest rated must mean she was doing a great job, right? I mean, obviously she never went down to the border. But, like, why would you want to do that when you're busy getting nothing else done? I mean, come on. Even as she said herself before, I've never been to Europe, so why do I need to go to the border? I mean, exactly. You've never been to Europe, so who cares about our border? You know, she's too busy tailgating Joe. She's got to be ready for when he falls, and then she can step right over him and be like, oh, my turn now. Like, she don't have time to be down at the border when Joe's up in Delaware. Come on, let's be real. So, yeah. Now after looking at that, I thought, okay, well, that's some good background on her, but that's not quite enough for me to understand all this support. So I was like, well, let's take a look at some of her policies she said. Obviously, because she's never given any sit-down interviews yet or had any press conferences or anything like that yet, there's practically nothing out there for her for policies. And the only things that we do have from her are from her rallies that she carries all the time, but also says the same thing in every single one. So there's still a lot of stuff that we can pull from, though, despite all that. She's a great candidate, so don't let that fool you. The first thing that I found was how, you know, she mentioned that she was going to do away with taxes on tips. I mean, come on. That is a good move right there. That's what the Democrats always love to do. Steal. Steal and cheat to win. And that is an idea she stole right from Trump. Which, again, the Democrats, that's their whole shtick. I mean, look at Biden. He stole the vaccine from Trump. You know, screw Operation Warp Speed, right? We don't have to remember about that. We're going to pretend Biden did all this. So now Kamala, there you go. Starting strong by stealing his policy. I mean, why come up with your own policies? Why sit down and actually think of something that you want to see changes in the country and try to pitch it to everyone else and gauge how they feel about it when, you know, you can just look over your shoulder. What did he say? Okay, I'm going to take that too. I mean, come on. You cannot not support that. Now moving on from that, her next thing that she said, which is mind-blowingly good, is how she wants to have government regulation on big companies' pricing. First off, who cares what big companies are, right? That's why it's put like this. Nobody needs to worry about what constitutes a big company. Also, obviously you want government as big as possible. Jeez. Why would you want to have small government and let people just run their business as is and set their own prices? No, you want the government telling you down to the smallest random town in the middle of nowhere how much a tomato is supposed to cost. Like, I'm all for that, and so is a lot of other people. Like, it's the smart thing. Additionally, why would you not want big government? I mean, our government is getting pretty big now as it is, but bigger is only better, right? So come on, Kamala, get this huge. I mean, geez, the less freedoms that us as citizens have, the better. I mean, come on, no one can argue with that. Let's be real. And then the final policy she's had, this one's going to blow your dick right off. This is big brain. This shows how she is very fit to understand economics and properly be in charge of running a country. And it's that how she stated she wants to give $25,000, not a loan, just give $25,000 to everybody who's going to be a first-time home buyer. I mean, what could go wrong there? Come on, you got to support her. You know, it's not going to cause housing prices to go up $25,000. You know, this is supposed to be for first-time home buyers. So let's say you're not a first-time home buyer. You're somebody moving out of your starter home and you're trying to get into a dream home or even just something bigger. You know, that's only going to be that much harder for you now with the prices being $25,000 more. But, like, screw you, right? You got to work hard for what you want. It's not going to be just handed to you unless you're a first-time home buyer or a migrant, which, of course, they deserve it. So, you know, and then also, where's this money coming from? I mean, personally, I don't care, because what do I have to worry about it for? You know, when the time comes, the government will just zap me for more tax money to make that money back so that then they can go and give it to another country. So, nothing on my plate to worry about where that money's coming from, right? And then, you know, okay, maybe it'll cause a housing bubble like happened in 2008, which then led to the market crash and the start of a recession. Big deal. You know, a recession is just an opportunity for you to restart and rebuild your economy and start over and, you know, start from the ground up. So this is fantastic. So yeah, in closing, Kamala is a very great option. I can see why many people have been rallying behind her and ditched the whole riding with Biden and now white men for Kamala. I get it.